Hey Sadie, what's going on? Hey Sadie, are you going for a ride? You going for a ride? Where are you going? Huh? Look at me. Where are you going? Are you going bye-bye? You're ready, aren't you? Sadie. You going for a ride in the car? You're ignoring me. I know, you're ready to go. Ready to go. Look how your ears come up when we say go. Sadie, you want to go? You want to go? Well, you can't get out of the car. Where are you going now? You can't ride the motorcycle. Come here. Get back in there. All right. Tell everybody you're going for a ride. Going for a ride. Bye. Hello everybody, it's Wendy, and today I am here with a tutorial using the Jesse James Magical Mystery Bead Box for September. But first, our encouraging word for today is Proverbs 12:25, and it says, "Worry weighs a person down. An encouraging word cheers a person up." So we need to encourage each other. Just be nice. I don't understand why people are so hateful these days. I had a really rude comment left on my YouTube, one of my videos, and just deleted it. You know, I'm not even going to engage that kind of stuff anymore. It's just not worth it. So just be kind. Have a little grace and mercy. It goes a long way. And, you know, mostly I think people are trying to do the best they can. So anyway, today we are going to do a ta-da little video tutorial of a necklace using products from this month's Magical Mystery Bead Box. So let me show you everything you're going to need for this. I have a piece of 49 strand Bead-A-Lon tiger tail. Now this piece is probably 12 inches long. It's just a scrap piece that I had in my stash, and we're not going to use this much of it, but it's what I had that was already cut, so I went ahead and pulled it out. To use with that, I have two crimp covers or bead covers, these little crimp covers, two size 2 crimp tubes. That's those. And the reason I'm covering them is because I only had my crimp tubes in silver, and this is mainly a gunmetal necklace, so I wanted to cover it with a gunmetal crimp cover. And then I have two gunmetal wire guardians. So let's move those out of the way. I'm using this really cool pendant piece from the box. I just thought this was so really cool, and I'm going to use an eye pin with it and one of these multicolored kind of polka dotted style beads. I don't know what they're called, but they're really cool. Electroplated. We're going to be using that. I have some chain. This is from my own stash. I bought this at the Intergalactic Bead and Jewelry Show. So, you know, not sure where you can get chain like this, but it's just a decorative chain that I had in my stash. You can use any chain that you have. It's in gunmetal, and it's the one that looked the best. That's why I went ahead and went with it, with this necklace. And then we're going to be using a bunch of the beads, okay? We're going to do a pair of earrings too, but I'm not sure that they'll fit in this video, but they might. So, I have the beads laid out the way that I want to use them. So let me zoom in just a bit and see if I can make this a little bit closer for everybody. Okay, so I'm using I'm going to be using 4, but I'm just going to go in the order that I have the necklace laid out, show you how I've got them laid out. So these are the sparkly little rondelles, and I've pulled things from all the mixes that were in this box, so I don't know which thing came from which mix, so sorry about that, but if you have the box, you should have all of these beads. I'm using 2 of the bead caps, the gunmetal ones, 2 of these purple drops, 2 of these little blue turquoise colored beads. Oh, I did want to mention too, if you ordered the box and your globe piece was broken, Jesse James Beads has asked me to tell you to email them at hello@jessejamesbeads.com, I believe. I'll put it in the description box below. I can't remember. I think that's what it is. And they will send you a replacement, okay? So that was just some unfortunate thing. They were very delicate, and they just got damaged in transit. And so please email them, and they will replace that for you. No problem. Okay, then we have one of the rhinestone rondelles, one of these bigger carnival-looking beads. on both sides. We've got another of the little rondelles that were up here at the top. We have the purple kind of glass bead that's really pretty. And these are these hex cut or star cut. I don't know what these are, but they're really cool. And I've got that up there as well. And then I've got the skeleton head. Well, let's see. I'm off the screen now, aren't I? Okay, so I've got 2 of the skeleton heads here. 2 of these little bead caps. We're going to be making a crown on top of his head. And 4 of these little turquoise beads. Okay, so that's the lineup. That's the bead lineup that we're going to do down the sides of our necklace. So go ahead and pull your beads out, and I will zoom back out a little bit so you can see everything. And that's what we're going to do. Okay, so this is going to be really fun, I think. This is going to be a cute necklace. And you know what I'm just now realizing? I'm going to need, so I was just considering the wire guards for this one end, but we're going to need another, yeah, we are. We're going to need another 2 crimp tubes and 2 wire guards and 2 crimp covers, if that's what you want to use, because we're going to have to crimp this tiger tail in 2 different places, and I did not take that into account. So grab out 2 more crimp tubes. I've got my 2 crimp tubes there, 2 more wire guards, and 2 crimp covers. And I'm telling you, I laid all this out before we left. So Chris gets a 3-week sabbatical from work because he's been there for 5 years. So we've had 2 weeks now of his 3 weeks. This is his last week off. And I had all these tutorials laid out already. And then we went to Gatlinburg for a few days. So all this stuff has been laying here, and now I come back and I'm looking at it thinking, okay, what was I going to do with that? What was I going to do with that? What was I going to do with that? I laid them out in the trays the way that I wanted to use them or to do them, but you know, you forget these things when you've been gone in the mountains for a few days. And by the way, if you've never been to Pigeon Forge in Gatlinburg, let me just say, it is amazing. It's one of the prettiest places I've ever seen in my entire life. And it's just so relaxing and so just feel good. It's just a great place to go. So we're loving it. This is actually our 2nd trip there. We've been there twice now in the last 2 weeks. So yeah, we love it. But anyway, okay, I pulled that out. So my point in saying that was to say that I had this laid out and just kind of got distracted and haven't come back to it. So now I'm back to it. Let's do it. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our big focal piece here, okay? We are going to take this eye pin, insert it in here, and insert the bead, and then insert the eye pin all the way through. I thought this was really cool, how this just hangs here and floats, and I just loved that and wanted to make this sort of an element with it. And I'm actually going to do this with the other piece as well on a different necklace. It'll look different, and then we're just going to make a loop over here. So take this, bend it 90 degrees. Okay. Go ahead and cut right, you know, wherever you're comfortable, however big you want your loop to be. I don't make mine really big. And then take your pliers and roll a loop back. But I love this little component, just the way that it is, the way that it's shaped and everything. I thought it was really cool, and it would be really cool to put a bead floating in there. Okay, so there we have our little eye pin piece, okay, and our bead floating in the middle. Now we're going to create the pieces for the sides. So like I said, we're going to be using this tiger tail. I'm going to go ahead and cut it in half because I didn't think, like I said before, I didn't think about having to do both ends of it, but we are going to have to cut it. And so I'm just going to bend it and cut it in half, and it's about 2 6-inch pieces. You're not going to need a whole big lot. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and do one of the ends. So I'm going to take my crimp bead and put it on. Then I'm going to go ahead and put my wire guardian on. And I'm doing this because it will stop my beads from falling off the end. You could just use a bead stopper, but we have to finish this off anyway, so why not just do it right now? Taking this around the other channel in the wire guardian. And then right back through our crimp tube, just like this. Okay. Now it's important when you're crimping to make sure that your wires are side by side. See how they're laying? Let me get to where this will focus. Side by side and not crossed. That's important, okay? And then I'm just going to take my pliers. I'm going to lay this in the little divot there. I like to pull it tight and then just crimp it down. And your wires, if you can see, they go in either channel. There's two channels there. We've got one in one channel and one in the other. And then you just turn this sideways in your crimping pliers. Figure out whichever spot's best for the size and close it right up. Okay, just like that. And you have a good little crimp. And I am going to put my crimp cover on. And I like to use my pliers for this too. You can set him in one of these little divots in here. I'll watch it be difficult because I'm on camera, but normally this works just fine. Insert him right over top of your crimp and just close it down. Okay. And sometimes you have to go around it a little bit and just even it out and smash it down. Just like that. Okay, and there we have it. Our little ending. Okay, now we're going to put our beads on. So the first thing I'm going to put on is my skull here. Now I want to make sure that this goes all the way down over the little piece of wire that I have right here. And I'm going to put this bead cap on upside down. So it's like a little crown on the top of his head. Okay, see that? Then I'm going to put my turquoise bead on top. It's kind of like the little jewel in his crown. See it sitting there? And I was going to do this bead next, but I don't want two turquoise beads right on top of each other. So let's skip that. We're just going to go ahead and string up the rest of our beads here. And you can do this however you want. It's totally up to your own creative control. This is just the way that I wanted to lay it. I thought it looked cute. So here's an interesting fact about me. Halloween, my youngest son was actually born on Halloween. So that was totally unplanned. He wasn't due for 2 more weeks. We're just going to go ahead and do our other side the same way. I'm going to crimp it and do it just like I did that one. But yeah, he wasn't due for 2 more weeks, and I went in on October 31st for a doctor's appointment, and there was some distress. He was in some distress, and they had to go ahead and induce me and take him. And my older son, who was nearly 4 at the time, was so angry because I couldn't take him trick-or-treating that night. And I'll never forget it. He was like 3.5, and he said, "You just don't want to take me." And I was like, "Yes, I do, Logan. I just can't. I have to have a baby tonight." So of course his dad took him. He got to go, or his grandparents, somebody took him, but yeah, it wasn't me. And he still holds that against me to this day. Yeah, he's still kind of upset about the fact that Landon was born on Halloween and I didn't get to take him trick-or-treating. So, funny things about them being little. And Landon, because, you know, we are of the Christian faith. Everybody knows that watches my YouTube channel. If you don't, then you're not paying close attention. But, and so, you know, we celebrate the holiday a little bit. We do, you know, I always let the kids go trick-or-treating and stuff, but I don't get into the real nastiness of it, like the death and the, I can't get this bead cap on, the death and the, you know, the satanic aspect, I don't get into all that. I do not support all that at all. But we always let the kids go trick-or-treating, and, you know, we didn't want them to feel like that they couldn't celebrate a holiday or, you know, have fun with their other kids. We taught them the reason that, you know, we do certain things. And so, anyway, one year Landon said, I know, he said, we just can't celebrate my birthday because it's on Halloween. And I was like, no, honey, we can celebrate your birthday, and we do, and we're happy that you were born, Halloween or no Halloween. So yeah, that was kind of funny, but we had to explain that to him, that the fact that we didn't necessarily totally get into the holiday like some people did had nothing to do with his birthday being on it. But anyway, Landon's a Halloween baby. He's a pumpkin. All right, I'm just beading up this other side, just exactly like I did that last one. Just like this. Okay. All right, now we're going to crimp these ends, but one thing that I want to make sure of, I do want to crimp this kind of tight because I want this skull right here on the bottom to stay facing the way that I want it to face. So make sure when you do crimp this in that you do it a little tighter maybe than you normally would. I usually don't like to crimp tightly. I like to leave a little movement, but for this one, I do want that piece to kind of stay there. So I am going to crimp it fairly tight. If I can get this in the tube, it's not wanting to go up the tube. I may have to trim the end of that tiger tail or beetle on wire. Okay, let's go around here. See if I can get it to go through. There we go. It just was being difficult. Now I like for my wire to go down through a couple of beads. I feel like it gives it a little security. So I just shove it in there, and wherever it comes out is kind of where I pull it. Okay, and I am, like I said, and you may have to grab this with your pliers, your wire with your pliers, and then the top here, and just pull it tight. So that way that bead, even though it may move a little, it will not be spinning like a whole lot. So I'm just going to straighten this up. I like to mash these in sometimes, the wire guardians. I'll just mash them in a little bit and pull tight. I feel like it makes it sit a little better. Now, on this one, it's kind of hard to see if your wires are crossed, so you just kind of have to do the best you can and hope for the best. And I'm going to hold that with my fingers, and I'm just going to crimp that down, okay? And then I'm going to turn it the sideways and go ahead and crimp it closed. I'll take my pliers and just mash it a little, pull on it, make sure everything's tight, and then I'm going to put my crimp cover on. And I'm having trouble with these crimp covers today. I'm going to have to use the regular pliers for them because I don't know why. Because I'm on camera, probably. That's usually the way it goes. If you're hearing all the crunching over there, it's the cat. He's into his food right now. Over there crunching away. Okay, there we go. And I'm just going to close that up. And sometimes with these little crimp covers, you have to go around. You can start and just kind of go around and just, sometimes they need evened out a little. Like they'll close a little crooked, or you can just even them out a little all the way around. And there we have it. Okay, so I'm going to cut this piece off right here. And there's our first one. Now I'm just going to do the second one the same way. I don't know how many of you live close to a Hobby Lobby, but they have got their, or mine anyway, had their beetle on wire, their tiger tail and beading wire on sale for way, I mean, it was marked way down. So I did pick up a couple. I'm going to do that haul here when I get a chance to film it. Okay, so I'm just doing the same thing here. If you hold your wire guardian at the top and pull with your pliers, that'll tighten everything down. I am going to bend this in so that sits a little bit better. Okay, just make sure everything's kind of tight here. All right, and then I'm going to crimp this one. Turn it and close it up. Okay, we're going to trim this off. And I'm going to see if I can get my crimp cover on this time. There we go. Worked much better that time. Okay, so there we have our two little pieces, and here is our centerpiece. We're going to hook these right to the centerpiece. Now you can either do this by opening the loops, which is what I'm going to do, or you can use a jump ring. I'm just going to open the loops right up and hook these right on there. Make sure your loops are closed really good when you're done. Otherwise it'll come off. Okay, just opening the loop and inserting that right in. All right. So there we have it. There's our, so far, our little pendant piece. I like this. This is really cute. So now I'm just going to take and I'm going to hook my chain on here. I did not mention that you needed a clasp, but you do. I'm so sorry. I've got a lobster claw clasp. So I take it that's a given, but still, you know, some people, they will dock me for that. Okay, so let's find, is there a beginning loop on this? I don't think so. I think it's just, and I'm not sure if these are open. These are closed. So I'm just going to have to cut one. Okay. And then I'm just going to decide how long I want this necklace to hang. So I don't like my necklaces to be super long. So I'm probably just going to make it fairly short there. I do have a cheat sheet that I use. So Y necklaces, short but not a choker, 24 inches on each side. So that's probably what I'm going to go with this one, because I do want it short. I don't want it a choker. I don't have my long ruler out here either. I can use this one on this bead mat. Okay, so this is 12 inches. My bead mat here is 12 inches. So let's just go. Actually, that's 24 inches total, not 24 inches on each side. So I will do 12 inches down each side. So if I cut it right about here, I'm in good shape. Let me get that out of the way. So I'm going to cut it right about here for the one side, and I will do the same thing on the other. And the easiest way to measure this chain at this point is just to take a wire, hold it up, and dangle it, and just cut it where it matches. Okay, so right here is where I would need to cut. Okay, so I've got my two pieces of chain here, and I'm going to hook these on with a jump ring. So I've got some oval, little gunmetal oval jump rings here, and I'm just going to go ahead and hook this right on here with my little jump ring. I like this black. I wear a lot of black because, you know, it's supposed to be slimming. Not that it ever really helps me, but I do wear a lot of black, so I like this gunmetal chain on this. I'm not sure I'll keep this one. I'm not big into skulls and stuff, but I still like it. I like the color. Okay, so you want to make sure your jump ring is closed up really good, because this little wire guard will slip right out. I don't have mine closed up really good. There we go, that's better. Okay, so do that on the other side as well. And one thing that you kind of do want to make sure of is that you get the same link. So my links are different on this chain. So if you're using chain that has different links, just make sure that you're getting the correct link put on there so it matches on the other side. Of course, some chains don't matter, the links are all the same, but some are different. Okay, so there we have it. And now I'm just going to hook my clasp on up here. I'm just going to take the jump ring and hook my lobster claw right on. He can clasp right onto the chain on the other side. There's no need to, actually I may use a little bit bigger jump ring for him. There's no need to have to put anything over here unless you just want to put a decoration or something, a dangle you could. I'm just going to grab a little 4mm jump ring here and hook him right on. Okay, and there is our really cute little Halloween style necklace. Now you can twist your little skulls around. Hopefully they'll kind of stay the way that you want them to. But that's that. So let's go ahead and do the earrings, since it's, you know, we've got time and this is a 25-minute video. We can do it. So what I'm using for the earrings are 2 eye pins. I have 2 of the skulls with the little bead caps again, and the little turquoise beads. I've got 2 of these bead caps, the filigree ones, and the drops. Okay, and then I have 2 ear wires. Those are from my own stash. You can use whatever you want. They're just little fish hooks. And actually, I'm going to switch these eye pins and use head pins and use eye pins, because I think I want to make these have a dangle to them. So let's switch that up. I'm going to use eye pins instead of the head pins. And you're going to need, well, actually, you're still going to need the head pins. You're just going to need 2 eye pins too. I'm sorry. And I think I just put my head pins in my eye pins. I did. Let me pull out 2 more. That wasn't smart. Thankfully, I have all this stuff right here in front of me. I have a big thing with a bunch of drawers, and I just keep all this stuff right here in front of me, so it's very easy to grab. Okay? Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our eye pin and we're going to do our skulls first. So I'm going to put the skull on here and the cap upside down, just like we did on our other one, and the little turquoise bead for the little jewel in his crown. Okay, and then we're just going to make a loop, just like always. Okay, cut it 90 degrees and roll this back, and there's our loop. Okay, for the bottom, these are so easy. We're going to take the eye pin, or the head pin, and we're just going to take the drop, put this bead cap on it. Oh boy, and that came right through the drop, didn't it? That head pin did. Okay, so we'll have to come up with a way, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I've got some little clear beads here that I keep here just for this very reason. These are just little tiny, like, seed beads that go in between beads on strands that you buy, and that's what I'm going to put on the bottom of that, and it'll just block it and keep that bead from coming off of there, that drop. Okay, now this one, I'm going to make a wrapped loop. I'm going to do a 90-degree angle. Then I'm going to take my plier and go up and over and around. And then I'm just going to take the plier and grab it right here and take my other pliers and wrap. I don't know, I just thought a wrap loop would look kind of cute here. It's not very good to try to hold that with your round nose pliers. That doesn't work very well. Okay, so we'll just do a little wrap loop right here. Okay, and then I will cut this off. And that's that. And then I'm just going to open this right up. Going to dangle it from here. And there's our little earring. And then we can take our little piece right here. Open that a little bit. Insert our piece right on, our earring on, and close this right up. I got these ear wires from AliExpress. I just thought they were cute. Okay, so there's that one. We're going to do the same thing for the other side. Super easy. Skull. Bead cap upside down to make his crown. Jewel for the crown. 90-degree angle. Cut this off. Roll back our loop. I'm going to go ahead and put it on my ear wire. Why not? Doesn't matter which way these face because the skulls are going to spin anyway. So you don't really have to worry about putting it on the ear wire a certain direction. And we'll do this one, our little clear bead. This guy and the bead cap. 90-degree angle. Whoops. Take our round nose pliers, go up and over, rotate your plier up and go under, and grab it with your pliers and wrap. Okay, just like that. I'm going to trim that off. Has a little piece sticking out. I'll tuck in, and then we will hook this right onto the little loop here, and we have our second earring. Quick and easy. Okay guys, so there's our set. Hold on just a minute and I will put it on a form and I'll be right back. Okay, so here's our finished set. We've got our cute little focal piece here with our little skulls and our beads that go up, and then here's the chain, and then our little matching earrings. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you are interested in subscribing to the Jessie James Magical Mystery Bead Box, I will have a link in the description below. And you can check that out. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Ring the notification bell. It shows on my algorithms when I check them that most of the watchers haven't subscribed. So please subscribe. It really helps me if you ring the bell. You know when I upload new videos. And also if you give the video a thumbs up, that as well helps me with my algorithms. So please, I really appreciate it if you do. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. There will be many more tutorials. I've got 3 more laid out right now from this same box. So like I said, ring the bell. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.